Shalom, brothers and sisters. This one is just something close to my heart that I want to share with you. Um, it's important because it works for me and my loved ones, and I want to share it with you because it'll work for you, especially when things are difficult, especially when the attacks come fast and furious and in multiple waves, all in the same day sometimes. What do we do? Do we focus on them? Do we look at the storm waves around us and start sinking? Do we cry out and just see darkness and pain? What do? We worship. Because in worship, there is power and strength. The devil hates worship. The enemy hates worship. Demons hate worship. Their minions hate worship. Because the presence of God inhabits the praises of his people. And they can't be where God is. And when you worship, you let it all go. And you drift into that presence and majesty and power of God. And I'm going to start sharing with you guys specifically the worship songs that are really blessing me and my family a lot, because of my love for God's people and for the nation of Israel and learning Hebrew and drilling into it. I'm really, really at the moment blessed a lot by the messianic group Shiloh Ben Hot. I'll put the link in this as well. They've got some amazing worship, and they're creating new worship songs in Hebrew because there just wasn't. And it's beautiful, and the power in that is just amazing. Um, Waymaker in Hebrew, Poretz Derech, Osef Fele, Shumer HaBrit, Orgam B'choshech, Adon, Zemishe Ata. It's beautiful when you hear them sing it. It resonates with the spirit inside you, connecting with the Spirit of God, and it gives you strength. So that one I will share with you in the link as well. Go and check it out. He's got amazing, him and his family, videos that you can just worship along with them. And then this specific song too, it's called So Will I by Hillsong, 100 billion times. Now, it's amazing. It's beautiful. And it really just... So I've highlighted quite a few bits in the lyrics that I want to read to you as to why it's so incredible. As you speak, 100 billion galaxies are born. In the vapor of your breath, the planets form. If the stars were made to worship, so will I. I can see your heart in everything you've made. Every burning star, a signal fire of grace. If creation sings your praises, so will I. You don't speak in vain, no syllable empty or void. And as you speak, 100 billion creatures catch their breath. I can see your heart in everything you say, every painted sky, a canvas of your grace. If the mountains bow in reverence, so will I. If the oceans roar your greatness, so will I. If everything exists to lift you high, so will I. If the wind goes where you send it, so will I. If the rocks cry out in silence, so will I. If the sum of all your praises, all our praises, still fall shy, then we'll sing again 100 billion times. God of salvation, you chased down my heart through all of my failure and pride. On a hill you created, abandoned in darkness to die. And as you speak, 100 billion failures disappear. Where you lost your life so I could find it here. If you left the grave behind you, so will I. Every part designed in a work of art called love. If you gladly chose surrender, so will I. I can see your heart 1 billion different ways, every precious one, a child you died to save. If you gave your life to love them, so will I. You're the one who never leaves the one behind. The stars shine the brightest when it's darkest, when you're away from city lights. And if you go to Psalm 147 verse 4, it says clearly he named all the stars. He created them all. And that song just really, it just resonates with the worship due the creator of all and everything and what he's done for us. And you worship along, play it loudly, unashamedly. Let your neighbors enjoy worshiping God, whether they like it or not. It is amazing. Evil hates it, and therefore I love it. And I'm going to share more and more worship songs with you. Go ahead, draw into the Word of God, spend time with Him, and wherever you get a chance, in the car, on the walk, on your phone, on the laptop, worship. Because we're going to be doing a lot of worship soon in the presence of our King. Start now and fill your cup with God's worship. God bless. Have an amazing day. Shalom.